We didn't know it was the beginning of something new. We thought it might be an end. All we knew in that moment was the sound of sirens, the blinding swirl of red and blue lights, and the cold, unforgiving ground beneath our faces. The kind of cold that seeps through your skin and into your soul. The kind that makes you wonder if this is how it ends. We had just pulled up to Erin's mom's house, trying to keep a low profile after months on the run and looking for our next high. There was no peace in our steps, only exhaustion and paranoia. We had been bouncing from one sketchy motel to the next, staying in our car some nights, crashing on couches when we could find one. Homeless, addicted, hunted, and hopeless daily. Survival had become our full-time job. We thought we could outrun the consequences, only to learn it isn't possible. As we arrived that night, officers swarmed with weapons drawn and voices shouting. We knew we were out of options. There was no escape, no more hiding, just pavement, pressure, and prayers that this wouldn't be the last chapter in our story. Face down in handcuffs, reality hits hard. We felt everything at once. Shame that we had let it get this far. Fear that our relationship wouldn't survive. Regret for the paths we took. Guilt for the pain we caused our loved ones. And underneath it all, a terrifying question neither of us said out loud. What if this is it? What if we never make it back? I wish we could say that moment came with clarity or peace, that we felt some kind of instant relief now that the chase was over. But that would be a lie. It hurt. It was ugly. And in many ways, it was just the beginning of more pain. However, pain is often the birthplace of purpose. While we couldn't see it then, being arrested outside that house was the first divine interruption in a long string of second chances. It was the moment life said, enough. Now it's time to change. We just didn't know how. Yet. The drive to jail felt like the closing credits to a movie we never wanted to star in. Silence filled the back seat of that squad car, but our minds were screaming. How did we get here? How did love turn into chaos? How did dreams turn into dust? We weren't bad people. We were just broken. Two lost souls chasing numbness, trying to drown out our pasts and patch up our pain with anything that promised a quick fix. Drugs, alcohol, running from consequences instead of facing them. No matter how far we ran, our pain was always faster. What hurt the most wasn't the jail cell or the cold meals or even the disappointment on our loved ones' faces. What hurt the most was realizing we had become strangers to ourselves. We didn't recognize who we were anymore, and we weren't sure if we ever would again. In that season, the word hope felt like a fairy tale. Freedom, a fantasy. Redemption was reserved for people stronger, cleaner, and more put together than us. The spark. Something beautiful happened in the days and months that followed. A peaceful and growing spark. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't even that inspiring at first. It was small, almost like a flicker in a dark room. It was there in recovery meetings, counseling sessions, and every conversation where someone chose to believe in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. That spark spoke into our truth and into our possibility. It came in the form of mentors who saw potential buried under the mess, programs that gave us a second shot, late-night talks where we dreamed, just for a moment, of a better life. That spark didn't ignite a fire overnight, but something lit up, and little by little, we started rebuilding from the ashes.